I don't know if I've ever been this excited about a tutorial before. Guys, we have cracked the code to veneer finishing. If you're doing 3D printed veneers, this technique is revolutionary. This is a new glaze technique that we've created at the Mod Institute, and I cannot wait to show you guys what we're doing. This is something that we've been keeping under wraps because we've been testing it for quite a while now to make sure that it's going to be really good clinically. And this right here is a 3D printed veneer, and on my right hand is a Emax veneer done by a master ceramist. And guys, same STL file. I cannot tell you how incredible this new technique is for creating that micro surface texture, the way that the light reflects off of real teeth. Because in the past, if you glaze veneers, they kind of honestly they look like a marble for 3D printed veneers, or you're using like transopal and it just never really looks good. It's hard to do. You have to use heat and vibrators and all sorts of things. With this technique, anybody could do it. Look at this. This is something that I want to show you. These veneers here, 3 of them are 3D printed and 1 is porcelain. And what we did at our last class is we walked them around and let everybody look and try to pick out the one that they thought was Emax, and they couldn't. So almost every single person in the class got it wrong, and that is the power of this technique. I cannot wait to show you, and we're going to show you in this video. There's no special course you need to take. This is just going to be something that's going to change the way that we think about finishing 3D printed veneers with glazes. So for all of those of you who like to glaze it because it adds the colors and the beauty, this is finally a technique that we could use that's incredible. Now, what do we do? So we pop the capsule out of the Midas and we use air to air thin the resin as much as possible so that we don't have to use alcohol. In fact, I usually avoid alcohol almost altogether. I just really use that high power air gun and just blow the resin off of that veneer. And now we need to remove them from the capsule. Now, there's a few techniques. If you're going to use flush cutters, you want to go ahead and make sure you have a really high quality flush cutter like this Japanese version here. This Tamiya flush cutters are really good. There's other really good flush cutters. If you use a dull or a cheap one, you'll torque the veneer and possibly crack it. So don't skimp out on your flush cutters, guys. Okay, the other way that you could remove the veneers is use the Mod Meisinger 3D print finishing kit and this double-sided diamond disc. This is a tiny little disc which makes it ultra safe, so you're not having a giant diamond wheel spin around to cut your fingers. This little disc is really just built for this. Check it out. Within a few seconds, you just blow through those. Now, this is the most atraumatic way to remove them from the platform. Now, we also love these Annex Dent glossy gummies. These take the place of the Comet felt pads, and they're even better. They have medium, fine, and ultra fine. The medium's gray, the fine is black, and the ultra fine is red. These things have been absolutely legendary for removing support bumps and creating a pre-polish on your 3D prints, removing those print lines. They're what we use in addition to that Meisinger kit for everything that we do in 3D printing. So let's take a look at these. I'm just going to pop out the fine, and I'm going to go ahead and use that just to buff those supports in about 3 seconds. They're going to make fast work of that. So I like to use the flat end of the glossy gummy and just hit it like that, so that this way you can ensure you're creating a nice flat surface to your incisal edge versus a very undulating surface. If you happen to use the side of the disc like this, you're much better off. That's all there is to it. So in about 3 seconds, you could remove those supports. It's one of the easiest things ever. And again, avoid kind of going from this angle because you could just kind of like notch the veneer. Remember, this has not been polymerized yet. This is right off the printer, and we haven't hit it with alcohol at all. This has just been wiped clean. Now, this is the Mod tile system here, and we're doing a major update to this. This is years in the making now. We are switching to GC products, the Gradia Plus line, and away from Ivoclar Empress Direct colors. The Gradia Plus is very similar in that it's undiluted resin, so it's not like OptiGlaze, which has a ton of dilution to it to make it easy for temporaries. This is more what I would consider a permanent finishing kit. Now, the Gradia Plus line comes in these flowables, and this is the B shade on the Vita shade tab. That's going to be a brownish yellow. They also have C's and D's and A shades, but for the brown I'm going to be using this B, and it's a translucent brown, so it's not a very opaque brown, which is what you want. You don't want that opaque. Now, this is one of my favorite materials. It's the clear fluorescent. Look at that. It's literally optically clear. And then we're going to go ahead with a little bit of the gray, a little bit of blue like we always do, and then white. They call it cream, but it's like a white. Okay, and that's basically it. And from those, we could do almost anything. And again, they have the D and the C and the A if you need to do kind of different base colors to your 3D prints. This is thick and viscous. It's not watery and runny, but this is the secret. This is their injectable universal composite. This stuff is massively highly filled. It's almost 70% filled with nanoparticles, porcelain particles, and this is their juvenile enamel shade. This is the secret to the gloss that we're going to get on the glaze. So we're going to put one part of that, and then we're going to put one part of the clear fluorescent. And we're going to mix those together in a 1-to-1 ratio, and that is going to be our glaze. Now, I talked to the company. This is off-label use. GC said that the chemistries here are like chemistry, so there's nothing wrong chemically with doing this. Those are both methacrylate-based photopolymers with the same initiators and everything. So here we are on our unfinished veneer. We're going to put that B shade, that's that brown color, on the cervical third. I like to do that sometimes with veneers to warm up the cervical third and just give it a little bit more natural look, especially if the veneer is a little thick, because then you won't get that warm glow of the natural tooth. Okay, so the next step that we're going to do is make our incisal edge color. I'm going to take a little bit of that translucent blue and a little bit of that translucent gray and mix it together until you get more of a storm blue. And here's the thing, guys, when you're new to this, blue is something you got to be very careful with, so be careful here. You're just going to put a little bit. That's all there is to it, guys. It should take about 3 seconds. This is real time. This is not sped up at all. And then I make triangles in the 2 facial depressions, just like that. I mean, even a kindergartner could do something like this if you just show them the pattern. So it's a little bit of blue on the incisal edge, a little bit of brown on the cervical, optional. And honestly, all of this is optional. If you wanted to, you just use our special glaze that we're going to show you in a second. But then after that, I like to use this frosted glass color, which is white and clear. And what that's going to do is going to create like this frosty, milky color that's really beautiful, not so opaque white. So it's going to be like a frosted, kind of like a shower glass. And look at this. If you put it on the very edge, you're going to create a beautiful little halo, or you could create this mamelon effect with it. So you got the option of what to do with this. Sometimes I do mamelons on my veneers, sometimes I don't. It depends on the patient, how old they are, and kind of what effect they desire. But here I'm going to put a little bit of mamelon just by brushing that frosted glass color where the 3 facial lobes are. So you got a mesial, middle, and distal. And I'll just make the middle one a little intense so you guys could see it better. Okay, and once you do that, then you could do that very same frosted glass color for the incisal edge. Check this out, guys. It's going to be very subtle, very beautiful. I love this new material. I think it's extremely aesthetic. Okay, so notice that we didn't put any glaze. We're going to cure it. I'm using the Ivoclar Blue Phase Power Cure, and now I'm going to put that glaze. This is that special flowable injectable composite that's ultra highly filled, mixed with the clear fluorescent. And this stuff is magical. You don't need to heat it. You don't need vibrators, but it's ultra highly filled, and you could add texture. So where you put it is where it stays. It is slightly self-leveling, but it is amazingly beautiful. This stuff reminds me of porcelain glaze in the way that it handles. So I'm going to go with horizontal lines in the cervical third and vertical lines in the incisal half of the tooth, and I'm just working it into the surface to get the desired effect that I want to keep that texture in the tooth and to avoid making it look like a butter bean. And what's also really cool about this material is that this is one of the most durable glazes that we've ever used in all of our printing time. So we've been printing for a long time, and we've been playing around with glazes for years, guys. We have over 12,000 restorations in place, and about 7,000 of those are veneers. And you know, the thing with glazes is they tend to wear off after about 18 months, 2 years. And so This is something that we've been really testing with our wear machines just to make sure that it's going to be good for you guys before we taught it. So it plops into glycerin after we light cure it, and now it goes into the nano cure by Sprint Ray. This is Ceramic Crown HT. And look at this, out of the nano cure, one of these is Emax, one of these is 3D printed. One of these was made by a high quality lab, one of these was made in the Midas. And why am I comparing it to Emax? Because I wanted to show you the surface texture. The top one is the one that we just did with the mamelon, the kind of the aggressive mamelon on the middle lobe. The bottom one was done by one of the best labs that I've ever used, and it's made out of Emax. Now, let's look at these again. So top one, printed, bottom one, Emax. And of course, we're comparing apples to oranges here. One's printed resin, one is glass ceramic, but the whole point of this is to show you that you do get this ceramic-like finish, and you do get this ability to add texture, and you get this amazing, beautiful, translucent look to it, a very 3D effect, almost like stacked porcelain. And look, if I could do this, anybody could do this. A lot of you guys are a lot more talented than me, and you have more talented teams. I think we are really onto something here, guys. This is the new way to finish 3D printed veneers if you're not hand polishing. Now, this surface is amazingly strong. Let's hit it with a goat hair, a coarse goat hair. You cannot. You know, nothing. Like literally it did nothing. Let's go one step aggressive with this super aggressive wire brush. This thing will eat through prints like it's butter. Let's take this for example. I'm just going to hit the incise ledge. This print. Look at what it did. It added this massive notch to the incise ledge. I'm going to gouge the facial. Created a huge trough in the veneer. Let's hit our glazed veneer with the same wire brush. Look at this, guys. Maybe we get a little dulling, maybe. That's it, guys. It literally did nothing. We have actually cracked the code to the best way to finish 3D printed veneers, and I can't wait to see what you guys did with this in your practice and what you're going to do for your patients with this. If you guys want to see this stuff in action live, we have 5 seats left to our symposium in Austin, and we're going to do a 10-unit veneer case using this technique on stage. I cannot wait for you guys to see this case. It's going to be insane. And as always, if you like this content, check out our online education platform, Mod Pro, which gives you access to hundreds of hours of tutorials and how to do everything from design, scanning, and 3D printing. It is our comprehensive online education platform.